Welcome to Don't Be Shady Podcast. I'm your host, Priscilla, and today I'm going to have a guest, Jessica. Today we're going to talk about dating and the wonderful men that hop in our inboxes and decide to snap us, friend request us, inbox us, whatever it may be. But we're going to talk all about that today. Let's see. So... and then we're also going to talk about dating on our level. And I know that's super crazy, but that is something that we all need to do. So dating at any level can come with its own challenges and nuisances. But if you're referring to dating in a highly intellectual, ambitious, or tech-savvy context, it may involve a few unique aspects. For instance, communication tends to be more direct, with the emphasis on shared interests or goals. You might find that compatibility on intellectual, emotional, and even technological levels plays a significant role. For me personally, their looks may attract me, but what they say and how they think keeps me. Mm-hmm. However, it's really crazy the games that men play. And I'm going to have Jessica elaborate on that.
To reel you in.
Right. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about it. So what kind of men do you find hopping in your inbox versus the guys maybe coming from like a dating app or maybe a Facebook inbox, like, or even Instagram? Okay. Like, what's your thoughts?
Feel like I attract, we all attract different type of men. I think most of it, like 80% of it is on the content we post, right? Mm-hmm. Like we post half naked or nudity, we're going to get all different kinds of men, thirsty men. It's the truth though. I'm not being rude, that's how they are. Like,
they thirsty girl, give them the drink.
So like I was just having this conversation with this man that's trying to date me. How like it's different in Arizona from California. In California, I've always been taken serious. I'm a long-term girlfriend. I'm a serious relationship type of girl. But I think that's why now I'm not trying to do that. I think I've just done it so long that now I'm just trying to do me and live my best life. But meet somebody on my level that I can be a good friend with and enjoy things that I like. And then when I'm ready, when they're ready, like, not that I'm not healed. When I say ready, it's like I just don't want a relationship right now because I have too much going on in my life. But it's fun to hang out with one person. It's just hard to find that in Arizona right now because like when I find myself liking somebody, I peep game and I'm like, no, like I don't play games. I'm too old for that. And I don't like the hot and cold, the chasing me, the pick me men. Like, is that normal?
So when you say, okay, so the hot and cold, like, what do you mean by that? Like, elaborate a little bit more.
So they will show you how much they like you, right?
Right.
Because that's obviously what's going to get you to like them, to like fall and be like, okay, I'm going to put my guards down because I'm feeling comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's warm.
Mm-hmm. It's
all of
warm?
a sudden, when it's warm.
Yeah,
okay,
it's warm?
I trust you.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, when they think that they have you like that, because I know that's how men think,
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of pull back. And they want to see if you're going to chase them.
Pull back, like I don't like you, like
a little, kind of like giving you cold vibes, like short answers, short replies. Like this guy I'm not gonna say I was talking to, or I am talking to, I don't know, but because I don't know yet, I don't know how I'm feeling right now. But on Friday, on my way to the bar, I knew I was going to get cut off early, like around 9:00. So I'm like, hey, it's first Friday. That was supposed to be our first date twice already, So I was like, hey, like, I want to go to First Friday. I want to experience it with you. And then he was like, oh, it's already Friday. And like being just a really vague and like a dry conversation. And I was like, okay, I picked up what you put down and I'm good,
Yeah.
I went to work, got off early, hit someone else up, went out, whatever. And then all of a sudden, Saturday, I had a date with somebody else that, somebody I did actually have interest in before. Mm-hmm. I just realized that we weren't at the same, like how you were saying, capacity at the time. So we just,
maybe you guys just had like different things going on. And you guys were just not on the same level at the time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's exactly. No bad blood, nothing wrong, Mm-hmm. We just both kind of fell back. It just wasn't the time.
Right.
So anyways, I go on the date with him, enjoyed myself. we were more open this time. We communicated what we didn't do the first time because now we're getting comfortable with each other. It's the third time we hung out, you know, in over 3 months.
Yeah.
So now he's honest with me. I'm honest with him. Like, and I told him I was talking to somebody that it just wasn't working out.
Right.
And then,
I mean, that's the beauty of dating. You get to date multiple people and figure out which person you're most compatible with.
Yeah, because I'm not going to put all my eggs in this little basket and then you're going to act like this. And I'm going to be like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I just blew this guy off because you're at, wait. No. Have fun. No, we're not doing that.
We're not doing that no more.
Yeah.
Because that's what they do to us, you know? But then they pretend that we're the only ones. We don't do that. We're honest. It's 2024. Like, let's be real. Like, come on, you know? So anyways, now all of a sudden, this guy wants to play his cards right because it's the game. It's the hot and cold game. I don't chase. I attract, baby. Like, come on. We all know that.
I mean, women historically don't chase men.
Yeah.
I mean, and if we did chase men,
sadly in this generation they do, and that's what bursts their ego, and that's what they expect now, because there's so many women that I'm just like, shake my head, you know, and I wish I can just shake them and be like, come on, like, you're beautiful, what are you doing, like, wake up. And for instance, like my ex, he had this ex call him all the time, like 20 times, and like a psycho way, like psychotic. And I'm like, just answer it if you're not with her anymore. And then he was like, you know, like, no. And I was like, okay, then you're still leading her on. Regardless, at the end of the day, whatever it was, why are you calling that man that's not picking up your phone 20 fucking times?
She's psychotic?
And she doesn't love herself. She's never had that from a man. I mean, from my point of view, it doesn't look like you've ever been chased. It looks like you're the chaser. And that's wild to me. And that's why a man's never going to respect you, because you're always going to go look for him and chase him. And you want that. Why would you want a man that you have to capture and grab? Don't you want the man that wants you? Isn't that attractive? How are you going to feel like beautiful and good about yourself when you have to go beg him to be with you? That's just in my opinion. I don't know. All women are different, but I don't know. Some women do chase.
I mean, I feel like I have been that person one time or another, but I was fighting for the relationship or fighting for that person.
Right, and you were in the relationship.
Correct, yeah. I guess that's different than dating somebody like
or
chasing
wanting
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you on that. So like we're really good friends now, and we co-parent, but we had a very toxic relationship, and he was an alcoholic, and I didn't understand why he always wanted to go out instead of be home with his family. So I would like cry and chase him and be like, why? Like, you don't love me? Like, I was so immature and young at the time. My brain wasn't fully developed yet as a woman, because I would do stupid things like that. And I would chase him out the door and like call him every time he was out. Like, pick up your phone. Where are you at? Like,
oh, so you were the 20 call girl.
But we were in a relationship.
Yeah, that's different. Yeah.
And then it got to the point, I would call him not 20 times, maybe like 3 or 4 times. And then I'm like, I'm looking stupid because my areas, I have a lot of pride. And we had a newborn. So of course I'm going to be crazy a little bit. You know?
Well, hormonal for sure.
Yeah. So then it got to the point where like I had one of our mutuals send us a picture of him talking to some ugly barfly. So I'm like, I woke up in the middle of the night seeing that. It was enough for me to get his work clothes, throw it outside, lock him out, and be like, you're sleeping outside. You can be out there all night. You're not coming home tonight. And then I realized my worth. I picked myself up off the floor and was like, come on, like, me compared to that, you know what I mean? That I seen in the picture, it was just, no.
I don't think for me, like, obviously I wasn't there, but I feel like maybe it was the attention that he was getting. But what doesn't make sense, like, he had you at home and you would probably give him all the attention you wanted or needed.
Yeah. And that's, okay, so we could talk about unhealed men too tonight, because I feel men like that come from hurt places. I wouldn't say this for sure because I loved my mother-in-law, you know, rest in peace. But I feel like when a man reacts like that, he doesn't know how to love a woman because he didn't get that love from a woman. I can't 100% say that that's accurate, but that's what I believe to be true. Yes, he's close to his mom, he's close to his sister, but there was something that he was lacking in the home when he was growing up. And he has to always have, he always has to have, what is that word I'm looking for? Like, not just the attention of a woman, but like validation of a woman, you know? Like from different women just to feel validated, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like they can't be alone and they can't be happy with just one person. They have to like seek it everywhere else.
Have multiple people telling him you're the bomb, or you look good, or you're sexy, or you're this, to burst like the ego drive.
Exactly. Because you can do everything right. You can throw it back. You can,
right?
You can give it in for a long time. You can cook, you can clean. I pack lunches. I put notes in their lunches. Like, there's just something that they're lacking. Because if they didn't love you, then why do they beg and chase when you're gone?
Right.
Again, then what is that? You just wanted your cake and have it too, eat it too,
Because I know, like, recently being like separated or broke up, whatever, from my ex, like, and going out here, and like, I'm not seeking anybody because personally I need to heal. I have to get over that situation because I don't want to bleed on other people. So I'm trying to heal myself, but dude, like, the waiting list is long, and it feels like I'm like, oh, I'm tooting my own horn, but that's the truth. Like, there's a waiting list, and if you want to come off the waiting list, you need to show me that you're worth coming off the waiting list. Like, so many red flags, so many conversations. I just don't have time for it. Like, there's a guy, cool guy, like, we're friends or whatever, but he's always talking about how, he don't got time for no relationship. He don't got time to deal with nobody's drama. He don't got time for this, X, Y, and Z. Then why are you bothering me?
Yeah, we know why, but like, you are not going to tell us why.
You're right. I'm so confused with you. Like, do you want a relationship or you don't? Because your words don't match your actions. Like, you're confusing me. Are you confused? Because it seems like when you give somebody like attention, like, hey, you want to go out, you want to go eat, you want to go do this, you want to do that, and then your mouth says, I don't give a fuck about you, I don't care about you, or X, Y, and Z. You're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the game I'm talking about.
That is so confusing. Say what you mean and mean what you say.
Yeah.
It's not hard. I promise you. You'll get way more fucking bees with honey. You keep giving out shit, you're gonna keep landing on shit. I don't even know what that. It's just crazy out here. Like, dating is just not. I've been off the game for a very long time, and it's just wild. It's almost like they just want to play games, hang out,
have sex.
That part, and no one's touching me. Like, if for me to allow that, I have to feel comfortable and safe. And I'm just not out here doing nothing like that. That's just not even cool.
Yeah.
So for that to even be like, okay, let's do that. Well, just say that's what you want, because there are girls out there that want the same thing. I'm telling you, if you just say, hey, I just want to, then I'm pretty sure the girl will be like, you know what? Me too. And that'll be that.
And that's how I feel about dating apps. That's why I like to meet people genuinely. I just feel like it's an easy, like, hey, you want to come over? I put in my bio that I just did Facebook dating like last week. Remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I put in my bio, and no, I'm not going to your house, or no, I don't want to hang out at your house, because that is one big red flag and big turn off. It's like, well, remember I told you about that guy who asked me to go out, and he was like, do you want to just come over? And I said no. I laughed at him. Remember on Friday?
Oh yeah. Okay,
I said,
yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. I said no, I'm not. And then he was like, no. He's like, I wasn't saying like that. Yeah, you were. Why would I go
You're
to your
throwing
house?
out the bait.
Yes.
To see what's up.
Why would I go to your house at 9 p.m. after work?
Like, nobody does nothing at 9 p.m. except for having some sex. That's some grown-up time.
Are you a chef? Are you going to cook me like a
5-course meal?
Fine wine. I can't even talk. Like, no, I don't want, like, no. That's how I feel about dating apps now. It's like, it makes it harder for women who actually go on there to look for a solid date.
Like, so you're looking for like a genuine connection.
Yeah, like a bond, And it's like hard because, like, even when they take you out, they're like, so what do you want to do after this? Instead of just taking you home or taking you to your car, they have to throw that out there. And
so what do you do after this?
Know you know what I'm talking about, but they all say that after date. So what do you want to do after this? Like,
go home and go to bed. I got children.
Go wash my
I got
face.
a child.
Go
wash my face.
Because you ain't getting this.
Because I think the question is, what do you want to do after this? Like, we know what we want to do. We just want to chill. Like, I think, like, getting to know somebody, talking to them, like, for me, this is like the craziest thing ever. But, like, I can sit next to you. We don't need to talk, but we can have a full-blown conversation without words. Because I want to feel your energy. I want to know where you are. I just want to feel that. All of that will tell me what words won't say. And I think that's what the because I'm sure dating apps, like, you get those damn creeps. Because, dude, I wake up to snaps. I'm like, 20, 50. I have 100 friend requests in Snap. Like, literally.
And that's a new feature.
Like, what am I gonna do with 100 friend
Before,
requests?
it would be like from your contacts or mutuals, at least. It would tell you like 2 or 3 mutual friends. Or it would say, what was the other one? By username.
Oh, yeah,
Now
yeah.
everything is quick add, quick add, quick add. I get them from San Diego still. So I'm like, is it like picking up my location? Because I still get some from Arizona. And I'm like, who are these people? I don't know. We have no mutuals. That's a new feature. Like, when did this come in? So everything is turning into a dating app. Facebook has dating. It's probably been around for a couple years. I never used it. But Snapchat is like that now. Yeah. Instagram. Remember before it was just like post your pictures, connect with your friends. Now it's everybody adds to DM and go out on dates. And everything now is just a swipe. It's technology. It's getting to know somebody. It's a DM. It's a message. And that's why I'm not. I have been posting a lot on social media lately, but when I was in a relationship, I didn't. And I didn't like my significant other always on it. Well, he wasn't ever like, so it's not like I didn't like it. He just never, he's not a social media person, which I liked because now that I'm single and dating, I'm like, now this is something I have to think about because everybody's out there on social media. And I see how easy it is to get DMs from men in relationships. And I'm like, ew, I'm going to screenshot this and send it to your girlfriend. Now I'm kind of scared that could be me.
You know what's so funny? So this guy messaged me and I'm like, you're kind of cute. Let me look. So I went and looked. I went on his profile, married, kids. And I messaged him back and I was like, hey, so you got a wife and you got some kids? I was like, so you cheat?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's not even like that. I said, okay, so I can go ahead and screenshot this conversation and send it to your wife and she'll be cool with it?
Yeah. He blocked you or something?
Blocked. Instantly. I was like, right, like
they always do that.
That's like not like stop.
Yeah. But that's how I feel about social media. Like, it's just so easy. It's like, and the dating apps, I feel like it's a hookup app to me. It's because that's all they want to do because that's how easy it is. It's just a fucking swipe. You know what I mean? Yeah. These prostitutes are out here struggling.
I mean, that's why I posted the Snapchat. Like, I'm getting messages like, oh, I want to see your toes. I want to see you in nylons. Like, oh, you want to see that?
Yeah.
I don't know you.
Yeah.
We're not even friends. Like, I'm so confused. I just think that, times are changing. Chivalry is dead. Like, nobody wants to be in love and nobody wants to have like authentic relationships.
I forgot to tell you, with Dimples on Saturday, I forgot the first 2 times we hung out. He's a car guy. He's a car door guy. Like, you talked about chivalry. He's total like gentleman, open doors for you, car doors, whatever, And I forgot about that, And I was over here opening my car door, and he was like, he grabbed me. He's like, can you just let me open your car door for once, be a gentleman tonight? I was like, oh my God.
You're like, whoops, it's been a while.
Yeah, I haven't seen you in 3 months, I closed my car door and I waited. I was like, okay.
That's so cute though.
So then I just kept going behind him, like, okay, let him open the door, let him, what I'm saying?
Let him do his thing.
But that was so attractive. Like, little things like that. And it's the small things that we notice, guys. The smallest freaking things. The things you say, the things you talk about. He's really family oriented, and that's one thing I like about him because he talks about his family a lot, his kids a lot. That's attractive. Like, most men are just out there trying to get to know you, and you can tell when they're not even interested because they're just trying to like carry it and pretend that they're interested and get through the date because that what comes after the date. You can tell when a man is
happy ending.
Exactly. Top it
well, not from me. Sorry.
But you can tell. You can tell when a man like wants to hear what you have to say, and he has a lot to say because he's an interesting person, and that's what I find attractive. A man who
Dimples,
can talk.
the Pisces.
Oh.
Sensitive in his feelings. I'll divulge something really quick. I was involved with the Pisces for 7 years. It was the deepest
connection,
craziest, breathtaking love I had ever experienced. Like, it took me 3 years to get over that relationship. Like, I was like so heartbroken when it was over. I felt like I was dying. Like, it was that connection that we had was so deep, like so amazing. They're really, really good lovers. They're really, really, really good, like with romanticizing you, being romantic, and like just it's amazing.
Okay, so I'm keeping him in my my top of the roster. Just kidding, there's no roster. Stop.
You have a roster of a waiting list. I don't know.
This is true, but we can't. In case I don't think guys will watch this, but just in case.
I mean, who cares if they do anyway?
Yeah, fuck it.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're just speaking what we feel and what our experiences. You know.
Yeah, they're just fucking not financing. So, you know.
Right.
At this point, it doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly. That is so crazy, though.
I know.
Mm.
Well, you tell me that, you get me excited.
Yeah. But you know, this Pisces cheated on me, so that's why it ended. But like in all reality, if that would have never happened, I would have lived. I would have been satisfied with that person for the rest of my life. It was amazing. But life happens. Shit happens. I was with a Leo.
We should talk about the zodiac signs. Leo. Well, our experiences with men.
Yeah, the Leo.
Crazy
Leo man. No.
That was my ex, the alcoholic. Everyone has a nickname.
And my ex was an alcoholic too.
Girl.
Leo alcoholic.
And they're crazy. And the thing that was worse is that I'm an Aries, so fire did not balance with fire. And he was my trigger. Like, I thought I was crazy. I thought I was a problem because that's how he made me feel, and I believed him because I was so vulnerable, and he was 10 years older than me.
Oh, so he was grooming you out.
Yeah. And you know, young. Like, so.
Oh my God, that's the same thing. He was, the Leo that I was with was 5 years older than me. Because I met him, I was 16, he was 21.
Oh my God, that's crazy. We weren't that young. Well, I was in my early 20s, he was in his 30s. So, but still, like.
But still young. Like,
I raised his children, you know, so it's like, crazy. Wow. But I thought I had issues. I thought I had anger issues.
Because it made you feel crazy?
Yeah. And then I would react. Like, he would do crazy things, and I would react, and I'm like,
but then he blamed you.
Yeah, of course.
So it's called gaslighting?
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know what breadcrumbing was back in the day. I didn't know what gaslighting was back in the day. Did any of us know, you know?
He gaslighted the shit out of you.
Yep.
How are you?
He lit me on fire, girl. Like, shit. At this point, I was like burnt toast. Like,
you said burnt toast. I love it.
I was like, done. So, you know what? One thing I do appreciate from that relationship, besides he gave me the most growth, he like put me on, like, I leveled up with that relationship, leaving that relationship, because I was like, damn, now I know my worth. Now I know what I don't want. You know what I mean? I didn't really, at the time I was thinking like fuck love type of thing, because I don't want love if this is what love is. Yeah. That was my biggest experience. So that's what I thought it was. Right. And I was like, I'm good.
How long were you together?
Like 10 years. Like,
ooh, that's a big chunk of your life.
And raising his kids and my kids. Yeah. So I lost myself. One thing I'll never forget is like going in my son's room and closing the door because he had the back room, and calling my best friend and crying on the phone. And she was like, what is wrong? And I said, I don't even know who I am anymore. Like, I live to take care of everybody except me. And she had to remind me who the fuck I was. Because we met in beauty school. We were young. We were vibrant. We were beautiful. We had fun. And she was like, this is not you. Yeah. And she literally had to calm, like, it was a panic attack. She had to calm me down and be like, girl, like, this is who you are. She's like, I'm going to pick you up. We're going to do this. And she did. She took me to the fair. We went for drinks. And I was like, I felt young. And I was young and I felt
How old were you?
I was in my 20s. I was probably, because when I left him, I was 30. So at this time, I was probably like 28.
You gave him all your 20s?
All my 20s, girl. I will never get back.
You know what, though? It's okay.
Yeah. I learned. It's true, you know? And I don't regret it because now I know what I don't want. And I love him as a person, as a friend. You know?
But you guys are like cool now.
We're cool now. And we talk about it, and it's crazy. Because I'm like, you know, I told him when I was pregnant with Penelope, when we were hanging out, I was like, you know, because of you, I would know what to not put up with. I don't argue with people. I don't like to repeat myself. I was like, so if I tell somebody I don't like something once, and if twice, maybe, it depends on how much I like you, but twice is not going to happen. But if I do tell you twice and I give you that chance, I'm not going to tell you again. It's just out the door, done, we're gone. Like, that's it. Like, part ways, because I feel like I'm putting too much into you now. And it's like that trauma's going to come back, and I don't need it to re-enter my life. And I'm going to settle for the bare minimum again. And that's what I'm scared of. I don't want to do that ever again, you know? Yeah. So, like, I'm good.
No wonder why you're red flag girl. I call her red flag girl.
I'm like, nope, red flag.
Because every single time she's like, oh my God, what do you think about this? And I'm like, oh, it's not that, you know, blah, blah, blah. Because I'm more like...
I make excuses to like be like...
make excuses to be like, peace.
Yeah.
And I'm more like, wait.
She does calm me down a lot. And I appreciate her, because if it wasn't for you, Dimples wouldn't have texted me last night. Good night, mamacita. He probably would have never texted me again.
You know, because like I'm big on communication because
and and it's weird that I expect that from men too. I need you to be my wingman. I'm gonna get those earrings that Kamala has.
Right?
Like, if I keep going, I'm sorry to be
No, you're good.
You're big on communication.
So I'm big on communication. Since this last relationship, I realized that maybe no. Let me back up. I realized that by me communicating how I felt should never be an argument. Me communicating how I feel should never upset you.
Yes.
Ever.
Period. I'm so glad you brought that up.
I don't even want to talk about like the trauma that relationship caused me, but I realized that I am worthy and I am valuable, and that if the only person that's going to be able to do that for me is me, however, you can't read my mind, I can't read yours, but I'm going to communicate with you about how I feel or what's going on so that you don't think that it's a different way, because again, you know, we get in our own heads and we make up these stories in our minds about things that probably aren't even true. But if someone just communicates and says, hey, you know, sorry I left your house, or sorry I can't come out, like I have kids or I have this, to me it's understandable, other than like acting like you don't know how to use words, you don't know how to type.
Ghost mode.
Correct. Like that to me is ridiculous. We're adults. So
unattractive, yeah.
We're adults, and that's even the same way with friendships. Like if we're friends and we have plans and you can't communicate with me and say, hey, you know what, today's not a good day, or I don't feel good, or whatever. If you can't give me the respect of communication, then I can give you the respect and exit your life.
Yeah.
Period.
We've done that to each other.
You're right.
Like when you were like, oh, it's just started, I don't want to be around nobody. Like, okay, I feel you. And we actually have the same wavelength. So I'm like, girl, me too.
I'm like, I'm being a freaking bitch right now. So I'm not coming outside, because if I come outside, I'm going to be angry at everybody and it's nobody's fault. So I'm going to keep the environment safe and I'm going to stay home. I'm gonna stay home, but that because we're supposed to do something. I was like, you know what? I can't. Not today. I'm being a freaking biatch. The attitude. Yep. Everyone's on my nerves. The mailman's on my nerves. The dogs are on my nerves. My hair's on my nerves.
I get like that the day before, like 2 days before. I'm like, or then I get emotional over stupid shit, and I'm not an emotional person.
You're not.
I'm like, oh God, I'm gonna start my period. I'm like, because I'll be watching a TikTok and I'll be like, in my feelings, and I'm like, that's so sad. And I'm like, where did these feelings come from?
My hormones.
Damn, that's all bad. But so she actually talked some sense into me the other night, because I wasn't communicating. Well, because I was going off an assumption, which was accurate. He did not text back until you told me what to say. Because I texted him, he never texted me back. And then I snapped him, he never opened it. After what you told me, I texted him, you know? And then he responded right away, and then he went on Snap and opened it. He had that notification. He checks my stuff all the time on Snap. Okay, so now we're good.
So basically the point of this... You're welcome. So the point of the story is...
Communicate. Oh my God. And you know, that's the one thing when I'm on a date and he asks me, what do you want in the man? And I'm like, or what do you seek? What do you like? And I always say a man that communicates with me is so attractive.
But then, I mean? And then you're turning around not communicating.
And why did I close off? I know why I did, but you know what I mean? Can't say that on here.
Hey, you can say whatever you want. This isn't
TikTok. Right? No. That's true. Okay, so like I was like super high and lit. So I just ended the night bad because I was like analytical over some stupid stuff.
All in your head.
I ran away from my feelings because I don't know why I got cold feet. I like him. That's something I should look into though, because like he started telling me, like reminiscing, and I was like, oh shit, he has feelings. And I ran away, which is weird because like when you're high.
You said, oh shit, he has feelings?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I jumped up and I started changing. And he's like, are you leaving right now? And I was like...
You hurt his feelings.
I think I did, yeah. And I hope I did not ruin it with him. I like him. But my thing is, like, why was I scared of his feelings? Because he was like...
Because you're probably reciprocating the same feelings.
Uh-huh. True that. She is my psychologist.
You know, one thing this this 7-8 months has taught me is heal people, heal people, heal people.
Yeah.
And broken people damage other people.
Hurt people, hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that.
Mm-hmm.
I always say that. And you know what? That's why I was saying, like, maybe am I not healed? But no, I know I'm healed. I know what I've come from. I know my growth. But I don't know.
But that's the thing, though. Healing is linear. It's always...
Oh, that you're always learning.
Correct. You're
every
always...
relationship, every friendship.
Absolutely. So
it's never ending.
Correct. So when you say, like, oh, I'm healed, well, you're probably...
Healed from a certain
situation. Right, but not everything, you know? Because there are things that are still going to trigger you.
Yeah. So there's a reason why I got scared when he was opening up to me. Maybe it was this past situation that you know about, where I was like, "Oh no, wait, it's too soon." Maybe that's my thing, and I don't know.
You need to give it time.
Yeah,
yeah, give it time, but communicate that.
Yeah,
I just need time.
Yeah,
because I'm still healing from whatever.
Yeah,
whenever you figure that shit out, who knows?
Yeah,
but still, communication is, because if you're worth it, he'll wait.
Yeah,
and if you're not, well, then you'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
And obviously, like, okay, so like we dated a few months ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just weren't like on the same wavelength. There was nothing bad. There was nothing like, it was just like.
And you don't like sensitive ass dudes.
And he was sensitive.
But there's nothing wrong with being sensitive.
No, I know. Mm-hmm. But no, so I had made a comment and he was like, basically told me that hurt his feelings, and I didn't even see that it was rude. It was not a rude comment.
What'd you say?
Remember when he was going to go to California? And okay, when we first went on a date, we were just like talking about everything. I told him about baby daddy, and he told me about this girl that he was dating in Cali. Yeah. But he was not going to pursue it. So basically she was still kind of in the picture. Yeah. And he told me why I don't want to put her business out there. But so when he randomly told me like, hey, I think I'm gonna go to California this weekend, I'm like, oh, you're gonna go see her. But I wasn't saying it in a jealous way, but everything's, you can't just text somebody something and then not expect them to take it your way, because people are reading it, they don't know how it's being said. Correct. So he probably thought I was saying it in a malicious way, but I wasn't.
But at the end of the day, you're just asking.
I'm just asking.
Yeah.
And he got so sensitive over that.
What do you say?
Because we were like already like messing around, and he was like, I don't just go give my body away like that, this and that. And I thought that was kind of like too sensitive for me. It sounded like a girl texting me. No. And then I was like, I felt back.
But that's Pisces energy though.
And see, I fell back. Remember that was before the week before we were supposed to go on the boat with him. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I'm not doing this. So he had messaged me. He caught that I was dry. We stopped talking, messaging. So later in the week, he sent me a picture of my thong that I left at his job site. So to go visit him at his job site to make it spicy, And he was like, look at what I just washed. And I just put O. And we just kind of just left it at that. Damn. Because I was like, you were too sensitive for me. You were dry with me. So I'm going to return the same energy. I know it was really immature of me, but it was just how I was feeling at the time. Mm-hmm. And then we just never messaged each other again. And he watches my Snapchat stories, but he never swipes up. I don't message him. And then he did get me back. He posted a selfie, and then it was like a month later. So like on Snapchat, mind you, I look at this man's Snap score. He got Snapchat for me. He had 0. He added me the first day. No, not the first day, but after the first time we messed around, he downloaded Snapchat and then added me, right? So then I was like, that's why I was kind of like, maybe he's going to be a Snap guy. He had a 0 Snap score, but no. Every time I sent him a picture, he sent me a picture, it would go up a point, go up a point. So I'm like, oh, is it only for me? And then we stopped talking, and I noticed his Snap score stood the same.
Oh my God, you're so toxic.
I am toxic. But they will never know this. Because I don't act toxic. I don't react, and I don't text. I let them go. I tell them goodbye. But these are things that I look out for myself, Yeah. And so anyways, yeah, so he had posted a selfie, and then I commented, knowing that maybe he does have other girls, they don't comment or they don't send each other shit. I don't know, but thinking I'm the only one, I swiped up, and he was like, you can't comment on here anymore, because I stopped texting him. So I thought that was really sensitive for me. And I was like, you sound like a girl that I'm dating, So I just left him alone. And then like months later,
Here we are.
And, he told me, too, why he wasn't drinking when we were going out and I was drinking. And he said, I just was at a place in my life where I wasn't ready to, because I was healing from a lot of stuff. So I love that about him. I respect that about him. He realizes that, and he cares so much about his family that he's like, if I drink right now, I'm going through this, I'm going to become alcoholic. Or he's just really analytical, and I love that.
He's aware.
He's aware.
And
So now he was drinking this night, and that's why he explained that to me. And he's like, this is why I wasn't trying to date. This is why this and that. And then he's like, so I'm like, okay, well, here we are today. I probably wasn't ready because he was my rebound from that situation.
Yeah.
And not that it's crazy, because not that I was hurt, I was disappointed in myself. I was like mad because I already kind of expected that from this person, because we were already separated before, and I was taking a huge risk trying to work it out. And it's like, you made me look stupid, and I'm like,
and you don't make an Aries look stupid.
That's the thing. And that's why when he was begging me, I'm like, stop, it's not about you. It's about me. It's me to me. And if I didn't respect myself, yes, I would want to work it out with you and I would believe you, but I love myself too much to even pretend that you're going to be honest with me. I don't trust you. And that's why I told him, just leave me alone, because now it's me versus me, not me versus you.
Yeah.
And that's the truth, period. Like, I put that on everything I love. Like, that's what it was. So that's why I didn't have to heal from him. I had to heal from me, my inner wounds to myself.
Yeah.
Because I felt stupid. Like, you should have known better,
You know what, though? I think sometimes, yes, we know better, but because we're invested, we want to see the good. Like, we want, like,
I want to
please prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong. That type of energy.
I wanted Penelope to have something that my girls had for a little bit, that I wish my son had. I just wanted her to be like, mommy, daddy, finally. You know what I mean? Because we never gave her that.
You know what, though? I will say something. Like, when I was with my first husband, like, it was so toxic. We were so young. Like, he was older than me. Like, I was 16, he was 21. We were together for 10 years. So he took from 16 all the way to like
almost 30s.
Yeah, almost 30s. We finally separated. But that relationship taught me so fucking much. Like, so much. I remember he went to work. Like, he never worked our entire relationship. I fucking carried us the entire marriage, everything. But he like cooked and he cleaned and he did all that stuff. So I was cool with it. The house was always clean. There was always dinner. Like, he did a good job with the kids and taking care of the house. But I remember, telling him, like, I'm unhappy. I don't want to do this anymore. And because we were toxic, if I were to be like, I'm leaving this day, figure it out, like, it would have been a toxic thing.
Yeah.
So he went to work and he came home. Before he came home, the house was cleared out.
I did that too.
Girl.
I did that twice.
Dude, I freaking cried my eyes out. It was so hard. Like, for a whole month, I was so depressed over it. You know?
Yeah, I did. I went through the same thing you went through.
Dude, just because you leave.
We are strong.
Dude, just because you leave and because you have to and because you cry.
Because it's not going to change.
Right. Doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just had to do what I had to do. Yeah. But like, I think maybe within that year, I remember my son, I was talking to the kids and I was like, what do you guys think about, no, this was actually years later when they were both older. I was like, what do you think about you and me and your dad not being together? Like, are you guys okay with it? Like, because I wanted answers. I wanted to make sure I did the right thing.
Yeah. And you waited so everybody could heal. Yeah.
And my kids were like, you know what, Mom, you and Dad don't fight. Like, you guys are better. You guys get along. You guys are friends. Like, we're glad you aren't together because we would rather you be happy than you fighting with Dad. I was like, oh, yeah. Because that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, in the long run, Penelope is gonna benefit off of the fact that you guys aren't together. She's not gonna have to see that.
Yeah. And you know what? This is a crazy thing. We didn't fight. And this is my thing, my dilemma with myself. I feel like I'm too laid back. I feel like I'm really detached. Remember how I was telling you, like, I feel kind of cold? And I think you even told me I'm cold. My thing is, like, yeah, I love you, but I can't be affectionate like that. I don't know why.
I think it's because...
I think it's my first relationship.
It's the part of you that has not healed.
That or it just died. Because that's... Okay, so I was with this man for so many years. He never held my hand. We never kissed. We never went out for Valentine's Day, anniversaries. It was just a dry-ass relationship. I don't know why it stood so long, girl. I did not. And anniversaries, I'd be like, can we go to dinner? On Mother's Day, he went out drinking and left me there. Like, it was not a real, like... I love you type of thing.
I see. No, so what's happening here is that you want that, but you're afraid to want it because if you want it, then that makes you vulnerable.
Maybe
that makes
maybe yes, girl.
Yeah.
Because like I try and I'm like, I don't know why I can't. And I think, and I warn these men, like when I'm talking, I'm like, they're like, no, it's fine, you're not clingy. I'm like, no, but you're gonna see what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it does bother them later because they like to be cuddled. Men like to be stroked. Men love that from women. They like to be taken care of. Look, I'll clean, I'll pack your lunch, but I won't fight with you. Like, there's nothing to fight about because I'm like your homie, homie, lover, friend. That's in my head, you know? Because I'm used to the old school type of love. Like, I'm like more like we're down for each other.
Yeah, but old school type of love, they touch, they hold hands, you know?
Or
they go on dates.
Or we were like the ride and die and we crashed and burned. Like, you know, but that's what I'm used to. Like, you know, like we're solid. Like, I trust you, trust me. I'm not used to this new type of dating where it's like, I'm about me, you're about you, you know? And that's my problem though. And,
you know, I'm not in my 30s anymore. I'm not even in my fucking 20s. I'm in my very soft era where I just want to be seen, heard, loved, and protected.
Yeah.
And taken care of.
Yeah.
I'll take care of you. You take care of me. I'll take care of you. You know,
equal reciprocity.
Right. Correct. Mm-hmm. Like, I got you. You got me. I got you. You know, but it's almost like everyone is just, like you said, out for themselves.
In it to win it.
Yeah. And it's like, where the hell did that? How is anybody gonna find love if they're all about themselves?
And I wish we can rewind time and just have what we had in the like early 2000s, like, you know, like love
90s
songs. Yeah, I was a kid in the 90s. But I grew up in the 90s, so yeah, like the, you know what I'm saying? Like the love songs, the romance, the fucking like, when did Calvary die? That's my thing. Like, okay, my ex, no, we weren't affectionate, but at least he'd bring me gifts, like, and like be cute about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like now it's more like, I don't know how to explain it, girl. It's just different. So, and that's the same thing. Like, maybe he wanted someone to fight to show him that, hey, I fucking care. And my thing was like, I'm not gonna argue with you. Like, just do it. Just do it. Like, I'm too much of like a homie.
I don't think it's that. I think you're just not gonna put up with the bullshit.
Or that too. That's why I need her in my corner.
Because sometimes you get tired of playing the games and you don't want to deal with the bullshit no more. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he plays too many games.
Oh yeah.
Especially like, from my perspective, you moving all the way from California to come here to try to work things out, and for him to have a relationship with his daughter, and then for him to be mad at you because it didn't work out, but it's his fault.
Yeah. No. He's mad at me because I won't give in.
Oh, you won't beg for him?
Yeah.
You won't fight
that's
for
what
him?
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
And then every time he wants to hang out, I'm like, I'm at work. And then I know he'll never watch this, but I will lie and be like, Jordan, because him and Jordan get along. I'm like, he's gonna come pick up the baby, tell him I'm at work, and I'll take off. I'll avoid him at all costs because you know, you've been to my house for the night. He spends the night. He tries to like stay around. He tries to beg me. He gets me to get tipsy and be like, let's talk about us, because he thinks I'm gonna give in just because I'm drunk, and I need to avoid that. Yeah. And no, now I'm like, those
are called boundaries.
No, you know what I mean? Saying a hard no, but in the beginning, he would get in my head and make me feel bad. And so the last time was the last time. I was like, look, you had 4 fucking years. 4 years. And in that 4 years, what did you do? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Nothing.
Honestly, I feel like maybe in his head he thought you'd just always be there.
That's what I think. And I think a lot of men think like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I got her like that. Oops.
We get tired.
Yeah.
We get tired.
And not only that, but he of all people should have known I'm not like that, because I cut him off in 2015 and I blocked his number. And then when I was pregnant, I was cool by myself. Like, so maybe I hurt him. I don't know, because I went through the same thing you went through with your ex, with mine, 2020, and I was supposed to get pregnant. So like, I was in this relationship for like almost 2 years, and we planned on getting married, and he was like legit husband material. Like, oh, your tires are bald, I'm gonna go get new tires. I made an appointment for you. Oh, I got my oil change. I'm gonna take your car to get a car wash. Wake up every weekend, did yard work.
Oh my god, I love that.
It was like a team effort.
Yeah, I love
that.
Like,
you know, he did the yard, I did the house. Like, we had family get-togethers every holiday. It was both of our families at the house. Like, but what fucked it up for us was that he was super insecure because me and my ex would co-parent. So I fell back and I said, okay, I can't co-parent with you anymore, but here, you can call the kids and I'll just hand the phone. It got so toxic that like on my daughter's first day of kindergarten, I sent my ex a picture because he couldn't make it. And then he goes through my phone when I go home. He's like, why'd you send him a picture? I'm like, that's a picture of his daughter. I'm not in the picture. Yeah. You know? And he's like, but it doesn't matter. He didn't ask you. So from now on, unless he asks you, you're not sending pictures of her. And that was not the only thing. My location was on. If it glitched, because we had Androids, if it glitched and it wasn't like Apple Maps, then he would be like, are you fucking your boss? Like this and that. It was so toxic. every time I went to my mom's house, I couldn't go by myself. He had to go with me, and he just like had to be in the bathroom too.
He basically had to be up your culo.
Yeah, no, because I would be taking a shower and he'd come in to make sure I'm not on my phone because I was taking too long. Like it was toxic.
But what was he doing?
No, right? No, he was super jealous. I'm gonna tell you about that right now. So then we were on the soccer field, and he was starting to fight with me because he didn't want me to talk to my ex. And me and my ex, I had to say hi to him, like you know. And
Yeah, they're cordial.
The girls were having games, you know.
Yeah.
And then he was like, we got in the car and we're arguing. He's like, "Are you fucking serious?" He said hi to him in front of me, this and that. Like, you disrespected me. It was just all bad.
That's not disrespectful.
No, so I'm staying quiet, you know, because I'm trying not to fight and talk shit. And like, I just remember like clenching my jaws because I was like trying so hard to hold it in. And my ex pulls up next to us, and my daughters are saying hi to me. And he's like, "Give me a kiss right now." And I was like, "Ew, what?" Because when I'm mad, don't touch me, don't talk to me.
Yeah.
And he's like, pinched my arm. He's like, "Give me a fucking kiss. I want me to look stupid." Like, that's how toxic this guy was, okay? And I was like, because he wanted to show my ex, you know? And he would talk shit about my ex in front of me and be little. And I'm like, don't talk about him like that. Like, I don't love him like that anymore. But I respect him, and he's a good dad. And like, what
and
you're
still
saying
the
is
father
not true.
of my kids.
And not only that, because I can call him right now, and he will still come and kick your ass, and you won't fight him because we're together, you know, because he was our bartender. Like, you know, that's how we met. He was our bartender, you know, and we were friends for a long time. But so me and Emmanuel would be back and forth because of his alcoholism. And then he would always be like, "Oh, you got back with him, but like, who cares? I'm not fucking you. I'm not talking to you. We're just friends." So I think he thought I would always go back, but I'm like, no, I'm done this time. I moved out. Yeah. So anyways, this relationship was so bad. He would accuse me of cheating all the time. So one day I wanted to see why, you know, and I didn't want to go through his phone. I hate going through phones because I get like this panic attack that I'm gonna find shit because that's what I went through. I messaged one of his ex-girlfriends. He would add her and then block her, add her and delete her. And I'm like, why is she still adding him? As a woman, you're not gonna add somebody unless there's like history or you talking to somebody, like there's something going on. So I messaged her, I'm like, "Hey girl, like check this out. I'm so and so. I know who you are. Like, is there anything I need to know, woman to woman? If there's, let me know now because I'm ready to dip out." And she was like, "Yeah, like, you know," and she sent me screenshots of messages of him trying and trying and trying, but she moved out of state. And I was like so disgusted. I'm like, okay, I'm good.
Wow.
I have 2 girls that he would do weird things with like that, and I messaged them, and 2 is enough for me. So there's more. If these are the only 2 I'm reaching out to, there's more. Yeah. So I got my shit. God always looks out for me. On everything. Like every time I close one door, one opens. So I broke up with him, and he's like, "Okay, well, this is my house. You're gonna leave then, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So then the next day, my cousin calls me, and she's like, "Hey, Prima, I'm leaving Jonathan. Do you want to take over my lease? I have another year for it, and I don't know who wants it. And I know you were saying you were unhappy." And I said, "I'll take it. I'm moving in. When can I go?" She's like, "In 2 weeks." So I'm like, boom, thank you, God. Open the door. I'm out. So then I didn't tell him. And then we got up together in the morning at the same time to get ready. And remember, we're not talking to each other. He would even make me sleep on the sofa, like try to be little me. Okay.
He made you sleep on the sofa.
He would sometimes on the sofa, like on the sofa. Like yeah, like and so anyways, and I'm laying in bed, and he's like, he wakes me up. He's like, "Hey, don't you have to get up and go to work?" And I was like, "What time is it?" I was like, "No, I don't." I was like, "Why'd you wake me up?" And he's like, "Because it's like almost 6 o'clock. You go in at 7." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm moving out today." Because I knew he was already on his way in his uniform, on his way out the door. And what is he gonna fucking do? He works on a Navy base. What can you fucking do? You can't call out right now. So he was like, turned around. He's like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm moving out today." And he was just looked at me and walked out. And I was out of that house before he came home. And I cried for 3 months straight. Because he was husband material. And I told him, if you get help and you seek therapy, we can make this work. Like, you just need to fix your insecurity, and we can be so good. Like, we both do everything together. Like, we can be a team. And no, he said, "I don't have a problem." That I was the problem.
Dude, bro.
And I deleted my Facebook, my Instagram. I created a dual Instagram page for us. I did everything for this guy, and he said I was the problem. And I was like, okay. So
that reminds me of my last one.
Yeah, no. There's no way you can help an insecure man. Just leave now. Run. Any more wine for this story?
Not only did I just leave a 13-year relationship, so we were friends for like a whole year, and like, dude, I talked to him every single day. Like, literally every single night I spoke to him. We had conversation. Like, he knew everything I was going through, everything I'd been through. Like, he knew everything.
That's how he was too.
And then for him to turn around and do me even worse, I think that's why, like, I hesitate in telling people what I've been through, or men, what I've been through, because in some way, shape, fashion, or form, that's going to be used against me.
Yeah.
And that's not okay.
Yeah.
So I don't even say what I've been through anymore.
Yeah.
I just don't even, I'm good.
Girl, is it me or do you feel like you're tired? Like, okay, so when I go on a date and they ask me questions, I'm just like, I don't want to talk about it because it's pointless right now. Like, I feel like when we're, okay, my biggest number one rule is when we're getting to know each other, we will talk about our exes to tell each other what we've been through, where we come from, so we know how to respect each other and, like, not cross boundaries, right? But I don't want to hear about your ex all the time. And I'm not going to be telling you about my ex all the time because it's disrespectful. And I'm with you, you know? Right. Because I get over people before I even try to move on, you know? Yeah. So I don't want to hear about nobody.
This last situation, like, it was like 20 questions, and I was like, can we not, like, I don't want to talk about any of that. I can't. I just don't want to. I just don't want to rehash things. I don't want to get emotional about things that don't matter anymore, you know? Mm-hmm. Like, at the end of the day, like, I broke my own heart in that situation. I stayed way too long. Mm-hmm. I tried way too hard. I gave away pieces of me that I can't get back. Mm-hmm. Things I needed to learn, obviously, because obviously the universe felt I needed to learn them. Mm-hmm. Because it put me through it. But I'm okay now. You know what I mean? And I literally had to pull myself out of the most darkest, despicable hole I have ever put myself in. And I've been in some really fucking dark ass spots. But this one was like, I like ripped me to pieces. Yeah. And like slowly like putting the pieces back together and fixing myself. And that's what ultimately launched this podcast. Yeah. Because I was like, you know what? Like, I'm sure there are so many women out there that have gone through the same things that I'm going through or have gone through and can relate to these experiences, mm-hmm. and can talk about them. And we just don't talk about it. We don't talk about the shit that we go through because we want to feel shame. The biggest thing when I was in that relationship, I wasn't allowed to post on Facebook. I wasn't allowed to post how I felt. I wasn't allowed to even talk about how I felt, mm-hmm. because if I did, how dare I? I was like the biggest problem. Mm. So that's never going to happen again. I will never allow somebody to make me feel like I'm the problem, ever. If me telling you I'm upset about X, Y, and Z and that triggers you, go get help. Yeah. Because how I feel should never be a fight. Yeah. It should always be like, okay, so what's going on? Let's talk about it. Like, I've always said that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Everyone's feelings are valid.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember one time I was so upset about something. I don't even remember why. I was like crying. Do you think that he asked me, like, we're in bed? Do you think he asked me, like, what's wrong? Are you okay? No, he just fucking took his little bitch ass to sleep. And then the next day, like, we would get up in the morning together, like, early. The next day, he, like, let me sleep, and he shut the bedroom door and was in the living room. That's, like, that's out of his character. So, and I woke up and I was like, hey, good morning. And then he comes in fighting with me, like, oh, you were crying last night and you want to just say hi today? Like, can it just be a new day? Can't we just start over and everything be okay? Why does it have to be a fight? So that was a fight. It was a fight because I was crying the night before. And I woke up the next day and I wasn't upset anymore because I had slept. And I said, good morning. Oops, my bad. Like, shit like that. Like, I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
And
putting yourself through that again.
Correct.
After being healed.
Right.
Yeah, no.
Like,
and that's what that was my point earlier.
Yeah.
Being tired.
Yeah.
And you just reminded me.
Yeah, like, I knew I would.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like you get tired of the same shit. You're worn out and you don't have that energy to put into somebody else anymore. Because you know what? It's not that the universe throws at us. Because we're here for a reason. Mm-hmm. Everybody has their own chapter. Everybody has their own book. Mm-hmm. And we were supposed to level up from that situation to be the person we are today. So I love everything. I hated it at the moment. There was times where I didn't know how to pray to God because I didn't have, I was baptized Catholic. I was never taught how to pray to God, have a relationship with God. I just knew how to go to midnight mass, Easter Sunday, Ash Wednesday. Mm-hmm. There was rules. I didn't know what it was. So I would cry and be like, God, why me? God, why me? I didn't know how to pick myself up the floor and have a relationship and talk to the universe and talk to God and be like, thank you for this lesson. Thank you for this blessing. Because even when shit goes south now, the first thing I even talk to my kids like an open book. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. That job was not for me. Mm-hmm. This is not aligned for me. This person's not meant for me. I'm open with my kids about everything because I want them to learn from me. Mm-hmm. I would never do what my grandparents did and be like, don't do that. Don't do that. This is not good. Let people learn from their own mistakes, but lead by example. Mm-hmm. Show them, and closed mouths don't get fed. So you're not going to tell me when you're raising me. I'm going to tell my kids because I don't want them to make that same mistake. You know?
Yeah.
And people get tired. It's like, you don't want to, what are we going to learn from this relationship and apply it to another relationship? Why would we do that?
Right.
You know?
And I was like, even like having like a conversation, like, if I'm dating you, like we can do like weekly check-ins. How's everything going? Like, are we okay? Is there anything is there anything that I need to do that's upsetting you? Or is there any, you know what I mean? Because I feel
do you want
like
me to communicate more? Do you want me to fall back?
Yeah,
or
like
whatever, because we're not nothing yet.
Right, correct. And I feel like even just like the talking part in the beginning, it's always like, oh, so fun, and you're infatuated with each other,
and it could be overwhelming too. Because you're trying to, we overthink, and you're trying to like.
I try not to think at all about it.
I think a lot about it because because I'm more like my pride type of. I'm an Aries, you know.
And I'm an Aquarius. I have no feelings according to the universe. I have no feelings.
You guys are so sweet. Monica is like so sweet, like chill, laid back, you know.
We're funny. We're smart.
She had to say funny first. We're
funny. We're funny. We're smart. We're intelligent. Like, we're bomb in bed. Like, I mean, what's not to like?
Oh.
I mean, I just think that, and we sometimes over communicate or under communicate depending on who we're talking to and what our situation is. But if we don't like you, we probably don't even.
Yeah. You don't care. You don't even bother telling them, though. You just don't care. You just cut them off. That's how my daughter is.
Yeah. I try not to be that way because that's like the toxic side.
Yeah.
So I try to be like, I'm not really feeling you. This isn't going to work out. Because I don't want to be an asshole,
Yeah.
Because I would feel like from like the world's reverse, if like a guy's not feeling me. Like, hey, I'm just not that into you.
Yeah.
I want to have to read your mind.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and men don't communicate that. Let's just be honest. They just disappear.
Sometimes it's okay. I remember, like, this guy's blowing me up. And I'm just like, why? And like bugging me. And
I hate that.
I was like, yeah. What do you want? And then after like a couple of times, I guess he kind of got the hint because I don't reach out. I'm busy. I'm a busy person. I do a lot.
We're busy, but for the people we don't care about. Everybody has time for somebody.
I was just going to say that. I was like, but I was just busy because I didn't care.
Yeah, truth be told, girl. And see, with me being an Aries girl, like I'm more like straightforward. So I try not to be. Sometimes when it comes out, I'm like, damn, why did I say that? I should have like sugarcoated it and like thought about it before I spit it out. But it's even worse when I'm high. It's even worse when I'm under influence. Because I'm like, I don't think, I just say it because that's how I feel.
You know what I feel like? I feel like wine or beer or whatever gives you the courage to say what you probably
no filter. And I'm still going to say it as an Aries. I'm still going to say it because I'm like, I can't be fake. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard to be fake. It hurts, don't it?
And it's just like, I can't. I try and I'm like, I can't. You know what it is? I don't know if it's the way I was raised, the way I grew up, or if it has a lot to do with, maybe it's everything that ties into place. Maybe it's my zodiac sign. But one thing about me is my pride, and I will not sit there and be fake. If I don't like you, my face is going to tell you before my mouth does. My mouth will tell you. You know? You're
about to know real quick.
You're about to know. And that's what the manager at my job.
Your face. Like, you have subtitles.
Ever since high school, people used to tell me that, like, oh, girl, I could tell you what you're thinking. And I'm like, that's crazy that people tell me that since I was young. But it's because, like, I can't fake it. So, like, I can't fake it to make it. And people would used to tell me that, just fake it until you make it. I'm like, nah, I can't.
I don't know.
It's hard, though. And, like, sometimes, like, I'm like, dude, I talk to myself and I'm like, just when are you going to grow the fuck up and suck it up and be like, okay. But no, I can't be fake.
That's just who you are.
It's just who I am, you know? And it's like, I'm very professional. So I'll just tell you in a professional way, like, that you just need to stay out of my lane. This isn't working out, you know?
Like,
like a business endeavor.
Like, I'm
you know? Have you
I'm in the business of minding my own business.
Yeah. Have you ever, like, told somebody in a professional way, like, if this is not working out, and you feel like you're, like, firing them? That's how you know you don't care about somebody. Because you're just like, I wish you the best in all your endeavors. Please don't call me.
If you see my name, swipe. Act like we don't know each other.
But it's crazy, like, the stuff we go through, and, like, it's just growth, I guess. But
dating on your level is definitely different for men versus women, because I've seen this podcast where the guy was like, yeah, I'm a high price pro I'm a high there's a word I'm looking for. He said it. He's like, oh, it's not high functioning, high profile, or I don't know, he just thought he was like up here, right? And he described why. Oh, I'm 6'3".
I seen
I'm
that.
black. I'm 6'3".
She
I'm
put
black.
him in his place.
Yeah, I'm 6'3" and I'm black and I make six figures.
Yeah.
First of all, that to me is not a high end man. Just
A
because
high profile man like that.
that to me is not that. I want to know what's in your heart.
Yeah.
I want to know how you think.
Yeah.
I want to, and if you think that's arrogance to me. I can't stand that shit. That cocky, arrogant bullshit. Like, stop. That's not cute.
I feel like we can weed it out though. Dating, talking to men, we can weed it out right away. I don't like the cockiness. I can come across cockiness. I'm telling you, texting could be taken many different ways. But when it's thrown at me a couple times, I can read cockiness through a phone. And I'm like, oh, you're too much for me. I don't like cockiness. I like humble men. You know what I mean? I like men who are family oriented because I know where they're coming from. I know they have a good heart. Yeah. I'm a really family oriented person. I'm the kind of person where, like, holidays, my family's coming over. Whether or not we don't talk throughout the year, or it's just I tend to distance myself because I'm more about me and my kids. Just because I want to raise them how I want to raise them. Doesn't mean I don't love my family and they're not coming to my house for the holidays. Right. I don't care who gets along with nobody.
And like for me, like holidays isn't holidays. To me, it's a family gathering where I get to hang out with my family and see them.
Play games, talk, laugh.
Yeah, catch up on life, things like that. And I want a man who values the same things. And if you don't celebrate, I can respect that.
But just hang out.
My
ex, and he was always at my mom's house.
Yeah.
Because it was a family gathering, you know? And that's how I'm raising my children. And that's what I want for my children. I want them to stay close together. And I send them videos all the time. Like, we have like a group chat, me and the kids. And I'll send them like TikToks about how siblings are your best friends and like why they should get along. And, I just want them to stick together like glue, because I feel like we're all each other has, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want a man like that too. And that's what I find attractive in Dimples, because he's always talking about his kids and his family, and I love that. It attracts me to somebody, not the whole flashy, not the cars, not the money. I don't care about that stuff.
Dude, like we could be in a 1-bedroom apartment, just me and you.
Well, her. Just playing, girl.
This is what I'm trying to say though. It could just be us, and let's say we're just grinding together, working together, figuring it out, and we build an empire together, and we started with nothing. Like, if we're humble and we start like that and we build and grow together,
each other's rock and foundation.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm down as fuck. Yeah. But the minute that you show me you're not down for me, because I go through things too. Like, I'm a person too. It can't be one-sided. It has to be both ways.
Equal reciprocity.
Correct. So if it's just not that way, then it's just not that way. We don't have to pretend, Yeah. So, is there any last thoughts or anything you would like to say before we end the podcast tonight?
Literally, that's like we got everything out there. Like,
I feel like this was so fun. I got to hang out with my friend, drink some wine, have some snacks,
shoot the shit.
Right, exactly, and just talk about our experiences and things that we've gone through in our life and our relationships. I'm sure we could go on and on and on, because there's so much stuff. And if you would like to share your story, if you would like for me to read your story online and comment,
or Q&As, you should do Q&A.
Yeah, I probably will. But as I'm going through and getting my feet wet on this stuff, because podcasting is so freaking fun. I love this. But if you have a story that you would like for me to read, make sure you go to Don't Be Shady Podcast. That is my website. Hit the 3 dots and then put in your information and send me an email. And I'll read it. On air, and I'll comment on air. I'll read it in one of my recordings. We'll talk about it. Or if you want to be a guest, you can also sign up to be a guest, and I can conversate with you and figure out what we're going to talk about. The more the merrier. I'm always willing to share the love and the platform, because this is a space for healing, for stories, for relationships, for dating. And I think that we all don't talk about things that we're healing from. We all talk about things that
we're healed from.
Correct. And I'm here to share stories and collab and just be here because I'm a girl's girl. If you hate your boyfriend, I hate him too. If you love your man, well, I love him too. Whatever it is you're going through, I got you. And those are the type of relationships and friendships that I want in my life. Because every relationship goes through shit. Every woman goes through something in her life, and the only thing we have, the only choice that we have, is to be there for one another.
Yeah.
So I'm going to end the podcast here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining and hanging out with me and my girl. So I will put some links below so that we can get social and stay connected. And thank you guys so much for joining. Have an awesome night. Bye.